He tattooed my name and my son's name across his heart. It was pretty significant. There's no way you can miss it with his shirt off. Our names is right there on his chest. And whenever I talked about leaving him, he would remind me that I can't go anywhere because he permanently put my name on his body. I am a survivor. You know, when you hear stories about people tattooing your name on their body, it's always like this romantic gesture, right? This big old thing. Like, there's no way that somebody could really express how much they love you more than that. It's more permanent than an engagement ring or even a wedding band because it's always there. At the time that he tattooed my name on his chest, I had left them. I had already relocated because I had to. I was in the process of really getting my life together. But I'm not going to lie. I was sneaking and calling him from block numbers just because I needed to hear someone tell me that they loved me. I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that longing. Because whenever he said it, it felt like he really meant it. And I wanted to feel loved. As this little baby that I enjoyed. I was having all these wonderful moments with my son. He was a little baby, and anyone who's a first-time mom, you know, when they smile, when they giggle, when they burp, like every little thing they do is just this wonderful experience that you get to have. And I was having all these wonderful experiences, and I had no one to share it with. My family wasn't anywhere around. I didn't have friends. I was really just getting acclimated to being someplace completely new and learning how to navigate. And I didn't have it, but I knew I could call him and say things and he would be happy to hear it. But at the same time, he used those opportunities as a way to manipulate me into really feeling like I needed him and I would be better off if we were back together. And it was hard. It was challenging being on my own. And being on my own in such a extreme way. I was going to church, but at that time I hadn't found a church home, so I was going from place to place. I still didn't have a car, and at that time I was living out in a county that didn't have a really robust transportation system, so certain days of the week the bus didn't even run. Like on Sundays it didn't even run where I was, and certain times of the day, so it was hard. I lived in an area where there weren't even sidewalks. Could you imagine me with this little baby trying to get to and from, and I'm walking on grass and gravel and dirt and everything trying to get from place to place, and I'm a city girl by heart, and so it was hard. And people who say winters aren't cold in the South, never had to stand out and wait for a bus for an hour in the winter, in the cold. It can get cold. And it gave me a lot of time to think. And sometimes I would think about the good times. The times when we laughed. The times when he would cook. The times when we would just have these great moments. And I needed to know that I could have those again. And I wanted desperately to have them again with him, so that I could be a family and not a single parent, not a statistic. So when he did do that, when my name was tattooed on his chest and he showed me the pics, I was like, wow, maybe. And we didn't get back together then. We didn't get back together for another few months. I came down here in November and we got back together that following May. He proposed and I said yes. He had changed. He cut off his hair. He was more clean cut. He spoke differently. He walked differently. He had started a business which I helped him develop, and I thought maybe there was hope. But with this new business came new money and a certain level of notoriety and easy access again to alcohol. And as quickly as things seemed like it was magical, they faded. And we were right back to where we had started from. The name calling, the insecurity, the fear, the threats were all back.